Hey guys, welcome back. Nate here at the King of Camo, and today we're doing our first podcast. Well, hey guys, I know it's been a while, but we are back, and today we are doing our first podcast. You know, it's been kind of a struggle here at the shop financially since January. We've had ups and downs, and anyway, a few weeks ago, decided to make some big changes here at the shop. And, over the years, people have come and gone here, but there's always been one person who has remained essential to the success of this business. And, well, I got him back, and that's Ryan. So help me welcome Ryan back.
What's going on, buddy?
What's up, brother?
Oh, man.
Good to have you back.
Good to be back. Well, super excited to be back.
Yes. So this is our first podcast, and we got a couple of things we want to talk about.
Yeah.
Primarily what we have upcoming, the changes we've made to the shop. But I think before we get into that, everybody wants to know where you've been.
Okay, well, welcome me back, everybody. So it's about 9 months ago. A lot of stuff has happened. Had to make a couple difficult decisions. Me and my now wife, Savannah, we had gotten married about 9 months ago, and where we're at, with the, economic climate that we're in right now, was very, very difficult to stay where we were at living because rent was going up and we had a lot of bills, and it was really hard to try and make it work. So we had to make the hard decision to move. We had to move somewhere where we could actually, live and pay our bills and everything. But, where I was working at, it was a great job that I found up there whenever we, because we're over an hour away. But it just wasn't this. It wasn't me being able to come in here every day and getting to see the customer's face when they drop off a gun, and me being able to show off this new restoration or this new paint job and getting to see them be happy, because that makes me happy. So whenever you called me a few weeks back, I was like, man, everything kind of happens for a reason, because I was having a real bad day and I was trying to think man, I got to try and find something else. But then you called me and I was like, all right.
Yeah, and I mean,
let's go.
It definitely doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right, to take a job that's like over an hour away each direction.
But we figured it out.
But that's also what told me that you were serious. You still have the same passion and motivation to not only showcase to everyone what we can do here, but to help the business grow and succeed. And I mean, I'm not afraid to admit it. We've struggled here financially. I've had to pay into the shop every single month, and over the course of 3.5 years of doing that, eventually that can wear on a person.
Yeah, you get kind of worn down from it.
And I was burned out, and I was even telling people, I think I'm done. I don't know if I want to do this anymore. But it kind of came to a financial situation here at the shop where I became a one-man team again. And
that's always hard to do when you're doing it by yourself, right?
It's tough, and I became overwhelmed having to answer the phone, run to the door, paint a gun, laser engrave a knife,
answer the phone,
answer
emails,
take out the trash, check the mail, answer emails, check the website, post to Instagram. It became overwhelming, and there's only one person that came to mind when I knew I needed to bring at least one person back, and that was you. And so when I made the call, it was awesome that it was perfect timing, and we both immediately kicked off and had a bunch of ideas. And I
didn't sleep for 2 days.
Yeah,
I was on my computer and I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and plan out maybe till next year.
He sure did. You called me one morning and you said, I have the rest of the year planned out. And I was
the next day.
I was like, awesome. Let's talk about it. And we did. And so we have a bunch of really awesome, fun events coming up. Some stuff we've never done before, but we're going to test it out. And I think we have a bunch of customers who have inquired about these types of things.
Yeah.
And so we're going to try to start offering them. So Ryan, what is the next event we got coming up?
Okay, so next event that we're going to be having is going to be, excuse me, we're going to be having an event over at NoFo called Nofoberfest. Last year we actually did their Halloween party with them, but this year they're switching it back and they're doing like a Oktoberfest theme over at NoFo Brewery, and they're big partners of ours. We love them. We love going over there. We love their beer. In moderate amounts. We're not alcoholics in the slightest.
We have fun over there.
We have fun, but it's going to be
a costume contest.
It's going to be a costume contest. We're hosting the party, right?
Yeah.
We're going to be doing a cash prize for the best dressed, Oktoberfest themed person. So if you're watching this and you got your lederhosen in your back closet that you're dying to wear, come out. You might win some money. So
yeah, it'll be fun. And last year we had some really good costumes.
Oh my gosh, it was hilarious.
People really go for it
for the Halloween contest,
and it's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, we definitely my cheeks were hurting from smiling and laughing so hard when we were done. All right, so Nofoberfest.
Yep.
And so the real quick though, what day is that?
So that's not this next weekend because we're filming this September 3rd. I think it's the 3rd.
Yep.
Nofoberfest is going to be September the 16th. So not next weekend, but the weekend after that on a Saturday. They're going to basically be doing it all day. They'll have live music. They'll have fun events going on. They'll have games outside on the patio area. And then I think the costume contest starts around 8 or 9 in the afternoon.
Okay.
And then we'll be able to hang out there all day. Get to see some awesome costumes, hang out for, Oktoberfest, and get to, just hang out with one of our great partners that we partner with here at the shop and just have a fun time.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's 2 weekends out from now.
Okay. And then so after Nofoberfest, what else do we have going on?
Okay, I think the next one that we have after that is going to be coming up is going to be at the end of September, and that is going to be an event that we went to last year. Eric at Iraq Veteran 8888 has invited us back out. We're going to be able to go back out to Range Day again this year. And we're going to be able to go and have a good time and basically go and shoot some really cool guns, meet everybody back in the industry again, just have a nice big hangout again. So he's invited us out to that event. Can't disclose where it's at, can't say when it's going to be happening, but it will be towards the end of September. We're going to try and get our podcast out again by then. Got to be kind of tight-lipped with that because it is invite only. So we're just really excited that we got the invite.
Yeah, we're very lucky, and Eric and Chad and Miss Brandy.
Miss Brandy's awesome.
Have been so awesome to us, in so many ways.
Oh yeah.
And anyway, it was kind of a blessing for them to have walked into our shop one day last year.
I know. Get in touch with them, and that was just kind of like a.
Yeah, Eric
moment.
Is just one of the most generous people you'll meet, and one of the most down-to-earth people. If you watch his videos on YouTube, he acts exactly like he is on his channel.
Yeah.
I remember when we first went and sat down with him on his front porch, he offered us some coffee. And
he gave me his tumbler and went inside. He showed me how he makes his coffee and everything. We just hung out and talked for a second. And I was like, this dude is awesome.
Super cool. And then we sat down with him, did an hour-long podcast with him.
Yep, talking about what we do in the back.
And then afterwards invited us out back to the range to go shoot a
that CZ and that 455, the integrally suppressed one. That was one of the ones that we did on our channel for him as a paint job, and that tiger stripe that you do so well.
That was such a cool experience. And then we shot. He was like, "You guys bring AirPro?"
Oh my gosh!
And I was like,
"It's like, yeah." I was like, "Yeah, it's in the truck," but we were already walking to the range, and and it was the Mutant, right?
Yeah, we had the Mutant, and we were just gonna shoot one mag, and I was like, one mag will be fine.
Yeah, we were the smart ones. Always wear AirPro when you're shooting.
Eric warned us,
but we were like, "No, we're cool, man."
Yeah, it felt like
couldn't hear.
It felt like I was underwater for 3 weeks
I know.
after that.
Every time we'd come back in, Nate would be trying to pop his ears. And he's like,
we were in
like
the car. We were in the car the whole way home. I just kept trying to pop my ear. It was my left ear. I think it's still messed up, honestly.
So always wear ear pro.
Yeah, always.
But Eric was awesome, and it's really cool because like he gave us some of those guns. We brought him back up to the shop, and we did like a really cool series and painted them up, and then we came back and we gave them back to him and went to range day. So we're excited. I think it's going to be awesome again this year. Yeah. We got a full team that's going to be going out, so we're going to have a lot of content to be put out. We're going to have some.
What was your favorite gun you shot last year?
Oh, Fostex, that 12 gauge shotgun that had a giant drum mag on it that I could just let it rip. It was amazing because they had like a big suppressor on it, one of their new suppressors that they had, and I could just, oh my god, it was great.
I've never shot a full auto MP5.
Yep.
Until that day, that first day of range day.
That was fun.
It was so cool.
But you loved that little thing from Volkortsen firearms.
The Mamba, or it's called the Black Mamba. It's like a 7-inch barrel on a Ruger Mark IV.
Looks like,
it's like their own integrally like comped barrel. And man, that thing was so smooth and awesome, accurate. It was the funnest thing I shot there. And I purposefully don't go to the Volkortsen website anymore after looking up how much they were.
Because you'll buy it.
Yeah.
Nate has no self-control.
I have to exercise self-control on that one. But anyway, yeah, cool. So we're going to be going to range day, man. Super excited about that.
That's going to be fun.
What's going on after range day?
Next thing after range day, coming into October 7th, I'm pretty sure is the date. Don't hold me to that. I think it's either the 7th or the 8th.
October 7th. Hold on.
We have a calendar. 7th. October 7th. October 7th is going to be the second annual Motorcycle Missions Veteran Charity Motorcycle Ride that we're going to start here at the shop. Go north this time, going up in the North Georgia mountains. It's going to be about a 3-hour ride. You're leading us out, but it's going to be, I think it's going to be awesome. I love that we're doing this, and we're going to try and do it every year because Motorcycle Missions is an awesome charity, and the message that they try and give out to everybody, I think is something that everyone needs to know about because they do an awesome job.
They help first responders and veterans suffering from PTSD get into a new trade in the motorcycle world, whether it be turning wrenches, riding, racing, instructing, you name it. I, as a rider, know the therapy that you can get from riding.
Right.
I'm skipping my ride right now to do
the podcast.
But no, I'll probably take off a little later today and go hit the mountains for a little while. And that's the thing, man. Getting on a bike and riding, it's just you and the road, the air. I like to dual sport ride and dirt ride as well. So, being out in nature is, breathing some fresh air, out there by yourself, get some alone time in your head.
Yeah.
You're riding, it's fun. You actually get a ton of exercise, and it's just good for the soul, man. And I'm really glad that we're able to do the second annual charity ride. We did the first one. It was successful. We had quite a few people show up. But I think this year I'd like to see, at least double.
Oh yeah, we're gonna try and see if we can get as many people as we can because it's gonna be a nice, pretty ride, and hopefully we get a nice day.
Yeah, it's not gonna be the same as last year where we went and stopped at a bunch of different places. This time it's gonna be a real rider's ride.
Yeah, it's gonna be going out from one place. Maybe stopping to eat some lunch up in like LJ Blue
Ridge area.
Yep. And then just doing a big old ride to come back. And we're ending at NoFo again. Again, we're not alcoholics, but they're an awesome place. And we're going to end the ride there.
We just love to help support NoFo. They were one of our first supporters.
Oh, yeah.
They're just good people, and we love them. And they're showing that they're an awesome company to partner with. Look at their great success. They've opened 2 new breweries here, one in Cleveland, one in Gainesville. They're absolutely crushing it, and it's such a fun place to go because the diversity of people that are there is giant, and everybody's cool, everybody gets along. It's not like going to maybe, let's say, good old days
Yeah, John, love you.
We love you, John. But, you know, you might get into a fight over there.
You might.
That's not going to happen over
No,
here.
it ain't gonna happen at NoFo. NoFo's chill. You can bring your kids. You know, it's a nice place to hang out and stuff. Very family friendly. But that's going to be awesome. I'm really super excited to partner with Motorcycle Missions. I know we've said that, but they've been great. I mean, as soon as I sent the email out to Crystal at Motorcycle Missions, I got an email like 5 minutes later. Yeah. She was like, "Yeah, let's do it again."
That's awesome. So cool. Yeah. So the motorcycle ride, basically, we're gonna all meet up here at the shop. We're gonna take off, go ride. Halfway through the ride, we'll stop, get something to eat, make the other half of the ride on our way back to Forsyth County, and we'll stop at NoFo and the ride there. And
we're going to be having a few raffle prizes too. Nate has offered to do a free paint job, so if you do sign up for the ride, you get put in for the free paint job raffle.
That's right.
And then you also had another idea that came back out.
Yeah, I was going through some of the guns that I have back here, and I found a Glock 43X that I hadn't done anything with, still in the box. It's a Glock 43 MOS, and I also happen to have a Hollow Sun EPS. So I thought, why not? We throw those two together, do a cool paint job on it, and raffle that off. So we've got a couple of cool raffle items that are the big ticket items, but then we're gonna have a bunch of other stuff, you know, like O-lights, some
CRKT probably,
some CRKT stuff, and neck belts, and goat guns. So you know, a bunch of cool prizes. We also have some other affiliates who will be offering stuff, such as
maybe donating some stuff.
Old Town Cutlery donated a knife last year. We'll see if they'll donate one this year. And yeah, so there's going to be a bunch of awesome raffle items to buy a ticket for.
And I think it'll end up being a really fun day for everybody, and then getting some cool prizes at the end. You might be the lucky guy that wins the gun and the pre-paint job. So you might, I mean, if you're that lucky, then you need to go buy a lotto ticket. Yeah. But I mean, that's going to be an awesome time. But the very next day, we're going to be really busy this next 2 weeks in October. So October 7th is the bike ride.
Yeah.
Very next day, and we're ending at NoFo on the bike ride. Yep. Very next day, we're back at NoFo because NoFo is having their anniversary market day. That's the biggest one they have every year. All the vendors that are going to be in Forsyth County and kind of surrounding counties get a spot out there. We're going to be out there and just meeting people, networking with other businesses and other people. And market day is always a super fun day. It's really chill. We get to just hang out. We get to see, you know, the guys at NoFo again. But I mean, like I said,
and we'll also have a bunch of our cool guns.
We'll have all of our guns on display, you know, showing it off. And if people want to drop off something like my knife to get engraved, you know, they can do work orders then. But we'll have some cool, you know, items to sell there too, just to be like a nice little vendor's market. Yep. So, but that's gonna be fun. But that's that next day. The very following weekend is going to be another huge event with one of our big partners, not NoFo this time. It's Lee over at Old Town Cutlery. Is Knifetoberfest, their big event that they host every year, and we get the honor of going in there and we bring our laser and do it on site at Old Town, because they're going to be doing a whole bunch of forging demonstrations. They're going to be selling a ton of knives, like brand new knives. They're going to have people out there doing axe throwing, knife throwing,
spear throwing.
You said cutting competition. So like, hey, if you've seen the guys do the, you know, cutting through the wood and cutting through the apples and cutting through the water bottles on the slide, they're going to do that. Oh my gosh, what else are they going to have?
They have a bunch of food trucks.
Yes, tons of food.
Yeah, they have a bunch of food trucks there. I don't remember who they're going to have. But they usually announce it.
Yeah, they usually have somebody there that they usually announce.
Go check out Old Town Cutlery's website. Yeah. They have everything on there.
They'll have all the information there. But we will be there, you know, inside, setting up with the laser, knocking out some really cool engravings for people that are buying a brand new knives that day.
Yep.
But if you haven't ever been, super cool time. A bunch of local knife makers will be there showing off like their cool new knives they make by hand right here in North Georgia. If you've ever seen the show Forged in Fire, they have a couple of guys that have their stuff on display at Old Town Cutlery. I love that show.
And there's some contestants who didn't necessarily win, but were, you know, made it pretty far, who are local.
Yeah.
And some who have won who are local, who usually come out as well. And that's pretty cool. You'll meet a bunch of local knife makers who will have their work on display. And like Ryan said, we'll be doing live engravings. So if you want to get a cool knife, or you already have one that you would like to have engraved, bring it to Knifetoberfest. We'll engrave it for you live right there.
Yep, you can watch it happen. You can talk with Nate, design it out, and you get to watch it happen right then and there.
Yep.
But that'll be October 14th. It'll be on a Saturday. So that's that very next weekend. But we got a nice little stacked up a couple weeks there with events.
And then we'll probably announce something for Black Friday.
Yeah, Black Friday. That'll be in Thanksgiving. We'll have something going on Black Friday, like a black camo Friday, and try and do like a blowout sale with a lot of the product that we have remaining in the shop. I think we might try something for Halloween, but haven't set anything in stone with that yet. But other than that, we've got a few other things kind of in the works, but I don't want to say anything. But those are the dates that we have hard confirmed right now that we're going to be at for this year.
Yeah, so. That's awesome, man. Well, cool. Man, this is kind of fun.
It's going to be fun, man. And, you know, speaking of like taking, you know, and going to Knifetoberfest and going to Old Town, you know, they offer classes there for like doing knives and stuff. One thing that I wanted to do this year that we talked about, and we've already started meeting with people about, is offering our own classes for like field stripping and cleaning your firearms. So if you have questions about like breaking down a firearm and like cleaning it and doing the operations on it, we're going to start offering classes on actually operating a firearm. We're going to have one of our guys that we're partnering with doing range day class training, shoot house training, self-defense training. We got a guy that's going to be coming in to do like first aid certification, CPR certification. So we're going to try and
we're also going to offer basically we're going to have some classes here in the shop that pertain to your firearm. So basically like a gun cleaning class, and then an AR-15 building class.
Yep, the build class.
The other one I'm kind of excited about is offering a class teaching people how to paint their guns.
Right, have like a paint class.
Or Cerakote like we do here. And so that'll be a third class we offer here at the shop. Then when it comes to firearms training, we've partnered with Sword and Shield. And they're going to be helping us with the curriculum. So there's going to be a tier of classes that you take, starting with the beginner's class, and you'll be able to work your way through and get a certificate at the end. And then we're going to offer some medical classes. And I think that it's important that we all learn not only how the proper fundamentals and safety of using a firearm, but if in the event something happens and you need to be on the medical side of it, that you're well versed. And so we're partnering up with a gentleman who is a customer here, Mr. Dave Palmer. He's going to be offering CPR certification, first aid classes, trauma classes.
Trauma, like combat lifesaver.
And then the one that I'm super stoked about is the wilderness and survival class.
Wilderness and survival class, which will be for our camping trip that we're going to do in November too.
So that's kind of a cool transition into our next event. You know, I told Ryan that I think it would be cool to invite our customers to go camping with us one time. You know, like let's see how it turns out, and maybe we'll turn it into something. And then we got the idea that maybe we could even offer a class during the trip. So we're going to test it out, and we're going to announce that date here shortly. We don't have a set date for that yet, but we're planning for sometime in November. So that it's not too cool, but
it's cooler in the afternoon, but not like blazing hot where you're like, why am I here?
So kind of excited about that camping trip. That's going to be fun, and we're basically going to head out into the Chattahoochee National Forest and find a remote spot and all camp out. It'll be fun.
But I mean, with that, in conjunction with all the events and then all the classes we're going to start offering, I mean, on top of all the services that we do already, you know, we've got it now set up to where, you know, in every aspect when it comes to like you having a firearm, you now have a way to come to us and we can get you on every single back end of what you want to learn about. If you want to learn about the actual assembly and the functions of the firearm, how to paint it, how to customize it, we're your guys. If you want to go and do the operating of it and actually go out and fire it and learn how to do like, proper range discipline, how to like get into those type of situations, we have a class now we can offer for that. And then on the back end with the medical stuff, if something, like you said, if something bad happens, we're trying to cover every base.
Yeah.
So you are as well versed as you can be, because we have a lot of first time gun buyers that come in here.
Yep.
And
I'm still trying to get Damon Lusky to answer my text messages about teaching his knife fighting class, because it is absolutely incredible. Damon Lusky of Alpha Knife, he not only makes the most incredible knives, but he is an absolute assassin. And I remember taking his knife fighting class and just thinking like, oh my God, it feels like my brain is melting out of my ears. I just learned so much information in such little time. Mm-hmm. And it was such an interesting class to take, because the first thing we all think of as gun toters is, hey, if I need to defend myself, against a deadly threat, I'm going to use my firearm.
Right.
But that may not always be practical.
Anything could happen. So covering all your bases when it comes to like, what happens if my gun's down? Mm-hmm. If you got to use your hands, how do you use your hands? If you got a knife, how do you use the knife?
Yep.
So
we're gonna offer all kinds of cool stuff here through the shop, and I'm
I think
really excited about all that.
With Sword and Shield too. Sal is the guy that owns the company, and he's the one that's going to be doing some of the training. He offers all female classes too. So if you're a lady shooter and like you're a first time beginner, like a lot of times going to a class, if you're like the one girl and it's a bunch of dudes acting like idiots, you probably don't want to go.
Yeah.
But we want to try and cater to everybody. So I think he does all women's classes, so you feel more comfortable and they feel more comfortable.
Yeah, and
in that kind
he
of
even
environment.
showed us some cell phone footage of one of the most recent classes that he did, and you could totally tell that the ladies had their guard down. They were learning.
Yep.
They were really into it. And they didn't have to worry about some guy watching them or judging them.
Right. Because guys can be...
and we can also be a little competitive.
We can be competitive, and we can be a little bit, kind of jerks sometimes, especially, but in that type of environment, you want it to be completely about the learning process and you able to focus in and not worry about other crap. So
and that's a very good point, Ryan. That's something that Sal had said to us. Was he prefers people who are first time gun owners,
straight beginners,
because he can teach them the fundamentals without having to unbreak any bad habits.
Right.
And I thought, wow, that's a very interesting thing to hear. People developing bad habits and having to unbreak them.
When he said that, it rang back to me, and I thought all the way back to basic training, and I was like, the guys who were the better shots when they went to basic training were the guys that knew nothing about guns. Mm-hmm. They were taught right then proper fundamentals of how to shoot, and it was usually the guys that had been like, oh, I've shot on my pappy's backyard for about 15 years. I can shoot wings off a gnat.
Yeah.
Talking like, and I'm not trying to be mean, but those guys, they've been shooting for a while. They can form bad habits, so trying to break them out of that is kind of always a difficult challenge. So I want to encourage people if they are beginners, especially with us, because we have people that come to us, like I said. I mean, we're going to offer this class.
Let's
it's going to
be clear, like we're not the
them.
ones doing the instructing, because
right.
we definitely don't think we're the experts on this subject matter, and that's why we are deferring to the experts.
To an expert, yeah. We're the expert in this field. All the stuff you see on the wall.
Yeah, making your guns look badass.
We'll customize it and make it fit perfect for you. Make sure you're comfortable holding it and using it. And then going out and actually operating it, we're going to refer to an expert that actually has training, who is NRA certified, and make sure that you get proper instruction.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. What else? I think that's...
In terms of everything else, I know we've started collaborating with a few people on YouTube. So just, if you haven't already, check out the channel, like and subscribe on our page so you can catch these podcasts. We're going to try and do it every week. We're going to try and get one out every week.
And we have a video that we are going to be filming this week.
Yep.
And hopefully it'll be coming out by the end of next week for Sean and Skylar.
Yep, over at Conservative Guns and Ammo. If you haven't checked them out, check out their channel too.
Yep.
We got a
couple
cool,
of young
cool
cats,
project.
local guys, and they're real cool. They do a bunch of gun reviews, and I think you should check out their channel. It's a very fast-growing one. They'll be coming with us
To Range Day.
To Range Day.
So we'll have a video on that too. So just keep in tune with the YouTube channel. Also, if you're local to the Cumming area, Nate has had a cool thing that we kind of do here at the shop called Show and Tell. We'll invite some customers that we may have done a really cool paint job for. They have like a really cool gun, and we're going to try and see if we can just generate more interest in people coming in and showing off their guns and like posting it, and
so the show and tell is like something I kind of came up with thinking like back to the days of kindergarten.
Yeah.
When we used to have show and tell, and you would bring your favorite toy or whatever, and you would kind of show it off, and so the same philosophy here.
Adult show and tell.
Yeah, it's an adult show and tell with our guns. The only thing we ask is you don't bring any mags or ammo.
Yep.
Just make sure the gun's clear, and because we're going to be passing it around, and so it's just safer that way.
Right.
You're more than welcome to carry your everyday carry pistol, have her loaded to the absolute brim, chambered, ready, safety off, hammered back if you want. I don't care. But just the guns that we'll be passing around, I would prefer that we just
be as safe as we
let's
need
be
to be.
safe. But we like to have a good time. The first time we did it, about 7 people showed up. The second time we did it, about 17 people showed up. The third time we did it, we had about 35 people here in the shop, which was pretty cool. So I'm pretty excited about the turnout that we're going to get this time, especially now that we're going to open it up to everybody instead of it just being invite only. We're going to open it up to any of our customers and let them come by and hang out and check it all out. So
yeah, because they might come in and they of course know us, but they might be able to network with some other cool gun guys that they might be able to do something with or collaborate with or just talk to. Maybe they have questions. So
yep,
I think that'll be a cool thing. But we've got a ton of stuff coming up. And, I'm super excited to be back. And I've already hit the ground running. I'm super thrilled about it. And I think we're going to do some cool stuff. So stay tuned in the next couple videos because we're going to keep it rolling and do some cool stuff.
Absolutely. Well, hey, that was our first podcast.
That was our first one.
And we probably made a bunch of mistakes and editing errors and all that good stuff.
This is the second take. Nate's phone rang in the first one and cut the whole thing.
Why did you just tell everybody that? All right, we're ending it there. Bye.